This is part 2 of Ted Bundy. On August 16, 1975, Bundy was arrested by Utah Highway Patrol. He was cruising in his Volkswagen Beetle and then fled at high speed after seeing the patrol car. In his car, they found a ski mask, a second mask fashioned from pantyhose, and other tools used for burglary. They then searched Bundy's apartment where they found a brochure that advertised the Viewmont High School play in Bountiful, where one of his victims had disappeared. The police did not have sufficient evidence to detain him, so he was released. They also found additional evidence in Clover's home. He owned a meat cleaver, but he never cooked, and had a bag of women's clothing. Finally, one of Bundy's surviving victims was able to identify him in a lineup. In February 1976, Bundy stood trial for one of his victims' kidnapping. He was found guilty and was sentenced to 1 to 15 years in the Utah State Prison. In October, he was found hiding in bushes in the prison yard carrying an escape kit. Later that month, he was also charged with a murder. On June 7, 1977, Bundy was transported to Pitkin County Courthouse in Aspen for a preliminary hearing. He also elected to serve as his own attorney. During a recess, he asked to visit the courthouse's law library to research his case. While the guards weren't looking, he opened a window and jumped to the ground from the second story. He would be on the run for 6 days. He was pulled over by police officers in a stolen car. He was taken back to jail, and guess what? He escaped again. He acquired a detailed floor plan of the Garfield County Jail and a hacksaw blade from other inmates. He sawed a hole about 1 square foot and lost 35 pounds in order to fit into it. Then on December 30th, 1977, while most of the jail staff were on Christmas break, he broke free. They didn't discover that he was missing until 17 hours later, but by then, he was already in Chicago. During this time, he attacked 4 women at Florida State University's Chi Omega sorority house. He also claimed more victims, including a 12-year-old. Finally, on February 12th, nearly a month and a half after he escaped, Bundy was pulled over by Pensacola police since the car he was driving came up as stolen. Little did they know that they just arrested one of the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives. Bundy's trial was covered by 250 reporters from 5 continents and was the first to be televised nationally in the United States. During his trial, while questioning Carol Ann Boone himself because he was his own attorney, he asked her to marry him and she said yes, and they were legally married. Then on February 10, 1980, Bundy was sentenced for a 3rd time to death by electrocution. He's suspected to have killed more than 36 women. While in prison, Boone gave birth to a daughter, and Bundy was the father. Guards were bribed to allow him intimate time alone with Boone when she came to visit. Also, while in prison, Bundy actually helped investigators find the Green River Killer by offering his self-proclaimed expertise in serial killer psychology. He died January 24, 1989 at the age of 42 by electrocution.